Welcome to the Global Law Program. You're with Andrew Bird, and we're going to explore all things law today, hopefully entertain you. Welcome. On this program, we're going to review the Food Production Safety Act 2000. Basically, the Safe Food Production Queensland is established as a body corporate to regulate the production of primary produce, among other functions. The government may make food safety schemes. A food safety scheme may be about how production of primary produce is to be carried out. There's an extended list in Section 39 of the Act. A food safety scheme is subordinate legislation, and it may impose a requirement on a person to prepare and maintain a food safety program. Accreditation requirements may also be imposed. Moving on. A person must not supply primary produce that the person knows or ought to know is unsafe. Section 7, 10, 77 and Schedule 2 of the Act. Person must not supply meat or seafood ready for human consumption. The person knows or ought reasonably to know that the meat or seafood is unwholesome. Section 7, 9, 80 and Schedule 2 of the Act. Milk must not be obtained from an animal affected by disease or which may be affected by disease. Regulation 68. Eggs must not be obtained from a bird affected by disease which may be affected by disease. Regulation 101. Eggs must not be sold if they are cracked or have visible dirt or other matter on it. Regulations 305 and Schedule 6 of the regulation. An animal carcass is to be examined to ensure the carcass is not affected by any disease or abnormality that could affect the susceptibility of its meat from the carcass. Regulations 126 and 130. A poultry producer processor must not sell poultry that is unsuitable for human consumption. Regulations 167, 176, 178 and 183. The reason for the law is to ensure the production of primary produce is carried out in a way that makes the primary produce fit for human or animal consumption. Section 3. Yes, for relevant links, Safe Food Queensland is the main website there. And that concludes my summary of the Food Production Safety Act 2000. On the farm topic, it's interesting to see that women in Norway made a song, YouTube video about farming in Norway. That's in just entering the debate about the future of agriculture in their country. So the group is called Piki Kovet Ivar, and their song was Norway Needs a Farmer, and they do a lot of dancing and doing farm stuff in the video. But what they're singing in the video is several generations have looked after the farm, but government reforms destroy the norms. Could we please have a new government in this country, please? All I can say about this is that it's good to see that the youth are involved in voicing their ideas to the government. And it's a kind of fun video to watch. Probably would make more sense if I knew Norwegian, but yeah, the whole video is kind of against the government changing how farmland is sold. People in the video, I think, are looking to keep the farms in Norway small, but the thing is, the consequence of that is that the food production costs are higher. But if farm is the traditional unit of like families in Norway, well, you make them bigger, it could tear the families and communities apart. So I guess they're fighting for that sense of family and community, which is probably a valid cause. The next topic I'll move on to is fur farming in Finland. I came across this topic from a friend on social media who had posted a picture of her two dogs wearing kind of signs saying they're against fur farming. Basically, one dog had fur is for beautiful animals, and ugly people, which is true. Basically, this woman was ashamed of a country for the fact that Finland is one of the leading countries in the world for fur farming. At the moment, thousands of animals live in tiny cages just for the sake of people's vanity. Over 4 million foxes and minks are killed annually. It is a horrible life for these poor animals who never feel the green grass beneath their paws or taste the free life that they should have been born into. There's actually a petition at the moment, and you can sign it. It's at www.thepetition.com/m/814/930/957, and it brings up the page. So I encourage you to sign that. And the petition has 180,000 signatures of a 200,000 needed by May 17. I'll put up a link on the Global Law Program page. So I encourage you all to have a look at that, and if you agree, maybe to sign that. Moving on to other stories. In Utah, they've solved the problem of chronic homelessness, and this has saved millions of dollars. The approach, or the idea by an American social researcher was simply to give homes to the homeless. And it does seem like a crazy idea, but they've actually started this trial in 2004, and basically what they had done is that they put 17 people throughout Salt Lake City, and they checked back a year later, and 14 were still in the homes. So the success rate was pretty good. And they found that by having people in houses, it reduces the other costs on society resulting from homelessness. So that's really good to see, and I guess trials like this should be encouraged. A story from home now. A train station in Brisbane's western suburbs has established a book exchange. This is at Wacol train station under the ticket window. It's the first of its kind in Queensland, and there's a sign saying take one, replace one, donate one. So urging the community to contribute books to the shelves. Apparently it's been reported that since the project began, the library has now grown to house more than 100 books. That's quite a good idea, because people frequent train going to work, and it's close to the CBD normally of little communities. Libraries may be out of the way, or you might not get to visit one during your get back to one, or view one when it's open to see what to check out. So being at the train station is a great idea, and it'd be good to see more of these ideas actually be introduced in the community. Moving on to a fun topic, the Human Rights Arts and Film Festival is happening in Melbourne from the 7th to the 21st of May. You can go visit the 2015.hraff.org.au website for more information. Click on film. So there's film, art and forums, and on tour. If you look at that, you should see that there's there's a gala film opening, cocktail party. There's films like I Will Not Be Silenced, The Ground Beneath Their Feet. There's Ivory Tower, Beginning with the End, The Humanitarians. All these kind of good little movies relating to human rights in some way. So I'd encourage you to check it out if you happen to be in Melbourne. Moving back to Irish news. The Irish government has apologised for the state execution of a farm labourer almost 3/4 of a century after he was wrongly convicted of murdering a woman. Harry Gleeson was sentenced to death and hanged for the November 1940 murder of single mother of 7 Moll McCarthy. Mr. Gleeson had discovered Moll McCarthy shot twice in the face in a field in Marlil, County Tipperary. A government-ordered review of the case prompted by justice groups found that Garda and the prosecutors withheld crucial evidence from his trial. after the issue of the government report, is expected that Mr. Gleeson will become the first person to receive a posthumous pardon from the Irish state. More information is available from the Irish Innocence Project website.